Prepare to qualify.
We began by visiting an institution of higher learning, and here we find an old professor reading old books about the Jews. And no, he's not black, Hebrew, or Israelite. However, he sees a shocking truth hidden in plain sight. The truth that the old books describe the Jews as black. In his book, The Image of the Black in Jewish Culture by Professor Abraham Mahlman, a professor at the Department of Jewish History and Thought at the University of Haifa in Israel. In his book, he writes, and I quote, "A strong European tradition dating back to the Middle Ages maintained that Jews were black, or at least swarthy, and finds sharp expression in modern anti-Semitic literature." You see, old books describe the Hebrews as black. This is not something made up by black people in America in the 1800s or the 1900s. Now, in his book, History in Black, African Americans in Search of an Ancient Past by Professor Yaakov Shavit, a professor of the history of the Jewish people at Tel Aviv University. And in his book, he writes, and I quote, "In medieval literature, a theory prevailed in which the Jews were part of the black race, or were at least dark-skinned." As you can see, the idea that the Hebrews were black dates back at least to medieval times and persisted into the 19th century. Professor Tudor Parfit at the Department of Religious Studies at Florida International University, in his book, Black Jews in Africa and the Americas, he writes, and I quote, "The idea that the Jews were black persisted into the 19th century." And he goes on to say, 19th century physical anthropologists in general assumed that Jews had a close racial, that is, blood connection with blacks. You see, in general, it was a common understanding during medieval times that the Hebrews were black.